Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I really do appreciate your time. I have worked on a couple of little front scarves, surprise, surprise, and I'm going to share those with you. But before I get into that, in case you were wondering what I'm wearing, this is the Lavender Kisses beanie. And it's a bit of a slouchy guy. And it's used, I think Moogly does it, and I think that it is Unforgettable yarn or Landscapes, one of the two. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I like it. It's a light, slouchy and comfy and just kind of sits there perched on top of my head. But the reason for this video is these little scarves. And if you remember back a few videos ago, I don't know how many videos ago, I showed you this yarn that I purchased called Camel Merino, because it is 80% extra fine merino wool and 20% baby camel. And I thought that was such a surprise for Amy, you know, to step out of the wheelhouse and use camel yarn. If I had seen this online, I would never have bought it, but I was there in person and touching it and feeling it, and it is so soft. So this is made in Italy. Of course, you're supposed to hand wash and dry flat. You're suggested to use knitting needles are a US for 24 stitches for 30 rows of 4-inch. I'm not exactly sure how to read those ever, because I never follow that because I'm a ding dong. But in case you want to see what that is. So I think it was classified as a sport weight, and this was 180 yards. And I stopped at just one little donut so that you could see how big it was, in case you wanted to stop right there as well, or if you wanted to continue on. And I worked 30 stitches. This is called the Halo stitch. Who did this one? Who did this one? The Halo shawl, an Annie Design Crochet. And I'm just kind of deciding whether or not I'm going to keep it as just a little front thing, like, you know, I like, or if I'm going to go ahead and continue the shawl in it. Look at how stretchy and this is so soft and yummy. So the stitch is, you've got a treble crochet, and then you've got a V stitch. That's a double crochet, 2 chains, and then a double crochet all into that same stitch. And then that's the edge. And then as you go along, you do just the double crochet V into a single crochet that's down below, and then you do a single crochet into the V from down below. So it's just alternating a single crochet and that V stitch all the way along. But it makes it look thick and squishy and gushy, and it's so soft. If you like, not even stretching it apart like this, but just giving it a squish like this, oh, it's yummy. I just love it. So this is the size that this one little cake is. You could either put a button on it, you could just tie it. You know, if you wanted to kind of maybe choke yourself a little bit, you could just tie it. So I don't know if this one I'm going to continue on into a full shawl, because I do have my my small blue tie around my neck for. Anyway, like I'd like to get some different colors going on if that's what I'm going to do. So this one I think I might continue on and make it into a bigger size shawl and see. I mean, it might be a child's shawl, but I think I want to continue on. I've got 2 more donuts in this color that I would dedicate to this. The other colorways that it came in was this gorgeous mint and this rust. And so I wanted to put the 3 of those together in one. These two, the mint and the rust, those were the only skeins that they had, donuts that they had at the store, but they had 4 of these little baby blue ones. So I was going to put these together in something, and then I've got the 3 other skeins. So if I put another one into this for a total of 2, or maybe a total of 3, then it will be a good size shawl, and then I can still dedicate these 3 colors to being something together. But that was my first experience working with this camel, baby camel, and it was fantastic. Whoops. Tuck that back there and put those up there. Whoops. Knock on my yarn avalanche. Okay, so after I had started making that, I thought, let's use a different size yarn. Now, the sport and then the fingering weight, there's not a whole lot of difference there, but I had some of this. This was from the Yarn Bee line. You've seen this in my stash before. This one is called Horizon line. and it's just absolutely gorgeous. The metallic sparkle that goes through it can drive me a little bit insane. You don't necessarily feel it, but I can see it when it's broken and it pulls, and it kind of drives me a little bit nuts. I almost wish that it didn't have that sparkle in there because it's just so gorgeous on its own. So those come in 420 yards, and I already had a partial, so I kind of wish I had used that, but I didn't. So you have seen this before. I'll try to remember to insert a picture here of the Horizon cowl made by Expression Fiber Arts. And I had run out of, I was pairing this with another yarn and kind of run out of that one. So it was a cowl that was kind of half orange on the bottom and half red on the top, or vice versa. And it sold. It was something that somebody appreciated from across the room. So I like that. But anyway, so here is, look how gorgeous. And I did stop here. I did do a single crochet border because I didn't want to make this one any bigger. And it is 30 rows as well, so that it would be comparable to the size of the Sport. Yeah, Sport. I always get them confused. Sport and DK. How do you guys remember that Sport is smaller than DK? I've got to come up with a way. You'll always see me hesitate when I start to say one of the two of those words because it just drives me nuts. Anyway, so look at how pretty. It's the same pattern that I did for the Camel Merino. So it's just a V all the way along, and then V single crochet, V single crochet. And it's just so pretty. The colorway is just, I love, 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 love it. I just had an idea. I've talked to you guys. I've told you about the wackiness that it does to me when the name of a shawl has a color in the name, and then I'm going to do that shawl in a different color. So for example, I just had an epiphany. There's a pattern that has the word peach in it, and I keep wanting to do that, but I don't have any peach yarn. This would be perfect. This would be perfect. There's enough kind of that orangey, yellowy, peachy color within it. That's going to work. Guess what my next project is, guys? Yay! And I'm sure I've got enough between my two partials of that. Okay, I'm excited now. I'm super excited. You know, one of the most difficult times for me is when I'm between patterns. So when I'm still working on something and then I have an idea for a new pattern, or I get an idea for a new pattern when I'm not even looking for it, that's exciting to me, because that means that however much time that I spend trying to find another pattern is, you know, avoided for the time being. So yeah, I think this is really, you know, the sparkly, neither here nor there for some people, but yeah. I love when I run out of things to say and just say yeah, right? I'm excited. Okay, guys. So let me the piece de resistance. Oh, so then I just did a single crochet border on this one. Now the pattern does call, as I said, the edge stitch is a treble crochet. Let me show you on this one because there's no single crochets around it. Right here on the edge, what we've got is a treble crochet and then a V-stitch that's got a double and then 2 chains and then another double. So along the side here in this treble crochet and all the way along is a treble crochet. So if you didn't do any border, you're going to have a little bit of a scallop because the outside stitch is longer than the rest of the stitches. So that will give it enough of a scallop for some people if you didn't want to put the single crochet on there. But what I did was the border of the single crochet on this one. And I did mess around with trying to do different amounts of singles along the wrong side there where the trebles are. So a double crochet, some people put 2 single crochets along the side, and some people would do 3 single crochets along the side. So therefore with a treble, because I do 2 single crochets when I'm doing doubles, for a treble you would think that I would want to do 3 single crochets with a treble, but it wasn't gaining me as much, and it was making the edge a little bit wonky. So I did 2 double crochet or 2 single crochets. Let me hold it like this. 2 single crochets along the side of the treble, and then 1 in the spot where it meets, where you join the edge, where you're doing your trebles down into the 3rd chain, you know. So anyway, I wanted to give you the opportunity to see what 2 different yarns would look with the same, and I used a 5mm hook. I should have probably, you know, this might show a little bit different if you're using like a worsted and a fingering, but this one, I just using a fingering and a sport, it was not that much different. Why am I having such trouble with this? It's really not that different. It's really very much the same size. Now there is so much stretchiness in this, you really could block it if you wanted to be sure to get that look. On this one, I don't think I'm going to block it. On this one, I like just, I'm just going to leave this one alone. I'm not blocking this one at all. But this one, as it goes into a full shawl size, I may block it. And you can see how much stretch it actually has. So then I worry, am I blocking it too far? Am I stretching it too far? You know, how do you gauge yourself with that? How do you know? Is that too far? Look how much stretch is in this yarn, you guys. This is amazing. It's pretty much, they pretty much look like the same size. And if anything, I think that, you know, the the camel one, the blue one here, has got so much stretch in it. You can see it even looks a little bit smaller as I have that. Let me take this off. This is telling me that I got 30 rows so that I would make sure to do the horizon line the same. But you can see that it's just a little bit bigger on an unblocked situation because there's so much stretch in it. I don't know. This is just gushy-yishy yumminess. I love it so much. There's so much texture there. Whew. Alrighty, guys. I hope you enjoyed my little front scarves, and I'm not getting tired of them. I hope you aren't either. Have a wonderfully blessed day. Thanks for sitting with me today, guys. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.